Welcome back to the Head and Neck Oncology Journal Club. Today we are looking at a phase 3 trial that asks a very practical question for a patient with advanced head and neck cancer who will never see immunotherapy because it costs $12,000 a year. Can we do better with drugs that cost $180? The paper is Metro Plus from Kapoor and colleagues at Mahamana Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya Cancer Center in Varanasi, India, published in JCO Global Oncology this June. Let's set the scene. In advanced unresectable head and neck squamous cell carcinoma, pembrolizumab and cetuximab based combinations are the standard first line where you can get them. In much of the world, you can't. Fewer than 3% of patients in resource-constrained settings actually receive them. So the real-world backbone becomes Paclitaxel-Carboplatin, which is tolerable and logistically simple, but the outcomes are modest. The hypothesis was to add oral metronomic chemotherapy on top of that backbone. Metronomic therapy is low-dose, frequent-dose chemotherapy with anti-angiogenic and immunomodulatory effects and a gentle toxicity profile. The regimen here is triple: one, erlotinib 150 daily, then celecoxib 200 twice a day, and weekly methotrexate at 9 milligrams per meter squared. Now the design. This is a single center, open label, randomized phase 3 superiority trial. 238 adults with unresectable advanced disease, all platinum sensitive, meaning a platinum-free interval of at least 6 months. They were randomized to 1:1, stratified by tumor site and ECOG performance status. Arm A got Paclitaxel-Carboplatin plus triple metronomic regimen with the platinum doublet stopped after 6 cycles and the oral drugs continued. Arm B got Paclitaxel-Carboplatin alone up to 9 cycles. Primary endpoint was overall survival. One thing to hold in mind about this cohort, it is young, median age 47, almost entirely male, and 85% oral cavity. This is a gingivo-buccal heavy, tobacco-driven population. Keep that in your head when we talk about generalizability. So the results. Median overall survival was 10 months with combination versus 5 months with chemotherapy alone. Hazard ratio 0.54. The 6-month overall survival rate was 68.6% versus 36.5%, a 32-point absolute difference. Progression-free survival 6 months versus 2 months. Hazard ratio 0.38. Both the p-values were under 0.001. Response rates tells the same story. Objective response, partial responses, only since there were no complete responses, was 36.9% versus 6.7%. Disease control rate 75.5 versus 42.9. Now toxicity, which is where you would expect the catch. Adding 3 more drugs should mean more adverse events, and in all the grade column, it does. Rash 62% versus 4.5, diarrhea 43 versus 11, mucositis 76 versus 55. But here's the important part. Grade 3 to 5 toxicity did not go up. 80.4% in the combination arm versus 12.6% in the chemo alone arm. Not significant. The others attribute the higher severe event rate in the control arm to more cumulative platinum, since those patients ran up to 9 cycles. And the quality of life actually favored the combination, with fact head and neck differences that cross the minimal clinically important threshold across pain, fatigue, and physical functioning. Let's also talk about the limitations. It's a single center, open label, so performance bias is on the table. It's overwhelmingly oral cavity, so I would be cautious extrapolating to a hypopharynx or a larynx patients. And the comparator was Paclitaxel-Carboplatin, not cisplatin 5-FU. So you can cleanly line these numbers up against the extreme or keynote 048. The responses also were durable in everyone, and there is no formal cost effectiveness analysis yet. So where does that leave us? The bottom line is, in platinum sensitive oral cavity predominant patients for whom immunotherapy and cetuximab are simply not accessible, adding triple oral metronomic chemotherapy to Paclitaxel-Carboplatin doubled the median overall survival and progression-free survival with no increase in severe toxicity at a fraction of the cost. That's a genuinely practical, scalable first-line option for palliative care in resource-limited settings. That's Metro Plus. Link to the paper is in the notes. I'll see you next time. Thank you.